Okay, I'm thinking, I'm wondering if this should be, well, this should be on top. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look back. I'm gonna have to look back at the original video, whether this should be on top of here, because there's a screw there and there is a kind of a rusty screw hole in there, but I can't see how it would attach. Oh, should I? Whatever, spare screws. Okay, so that's right. So this I need to solder back onto that board, and this goes back onto the solenoid, and obviously that plugs into there. So actually I need to take this board out so I can solder that back on. And okay, so that board needs to come back out, and this needs to go back on. So yeah, I think I might need to look at the original video just to see how this was connected up, because I don't think, if you push it down, and there's not much space for the solenoid to move. Okay, I'm getting there. Goes on there. I've redone the 3 wires up there. Now I just need to redo the solenoid cable together. It would be good just to make it so you can pull it apart again, just in case. Well, I know I'm going to have to pull this apart again. Let's see. Right, g'day comrade subscribers, I'm back. So everything's put together, and let's get a floppy. Floppy. So this is just a verbatim. Goes in like so. It gets to a point here where it's like, oh, it's stuck. But that's because of this mechanism here. You just need to give it a bit more. Just it's stuck like that, so you just need to give a bit more. And it goes in. Clicks into place, and then you can put that down like that, and then there we go. So mechanically it seems to be working just perfectly fine. Of course, there's not, I've not done any sort of calibration or anything like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do calibration, because looking at the documentation it says you need a special disc and blah blah blah. But anyway, let's see. So I don't know. Do that. I don't know if this slides in. And that's it. Comes out. So mechanically, seems to be okay. And see, we've got a I think right protect detector is down there, and there is an index hole I guess that was the index hole. Yeah, that's the index hole sensor there, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, under there. Push it down. Oh, didn't pop out that time. There we go. Anyway, the issue is, at the moment that I've noticed, is that I think there's a short on here. So I disconnect the power. Let's disconnect the power. Oh, it came off easier before. There we go. This is why I wanted to maybe move the power LED. So all good, 24 volts, 5 volts. But as soon as we plug it in, like so, turn her on. Aha. So, and that usually happens because we have a short. So if we test the continuity, so if we just test the continuity on the, okay, so anything under 50 ohms it'll buzz. So we've got the, turn that side. So we've got both negative, but both ground, so they're common anyway. But then when we connect, and that's reading 45 ohms. So that's why that's kind of gone off now, like that. So if we disconnect, we can definitely see 5 volts, 24 volts. There's 336 ohms. So there's an issue on the board. There is a short, perhaps. A capacitor has failed. An IC has failed. Although interesting, when I do this, we're back up to 276 ohms when I test the 5 volt and 24 volt lines, which is interesting. I'll turn this around. Poor thing, getting whacked around. When I check them again, so these two are ground. They're common. There's just a bit of corrosion on them. And then 5 volts and 24 volts. We got 276 ohms. Okay. But then when we plug this in, what is causing the short then? It's definitely, I've definitely got the right way. Common ground on this side, 5 volts and 24 volts on the other side. Plug that in. And yeah, we're down to so that's ground, and this is the 5 volts and 24 volts when we plug in. Disconnect, do it again. So this is on the plug. That's on the plug, 338, and then this is on the socket on the board. So what? Power is off. So what? I don't understand. I don't understand. So that's on the power supply. What could be shorting? What could be causing the unless there's something on the board here. So because I can take this board out, I just need to take the belt off, disconnect the plugs, and then I can take the board off. Although I think there is probably, let's see. So yeah, I'm a bit puzzled now. Reconnect the power. Well, I'm not connecting the power, I'm just connecting the cable. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe I've fucked up. Oh, but hang on. So there's a short between. What? Okay. So this is between 24 volts and ground. So there's a short there. Where's the short? That's 24 volts, isn't it? Yeah, that's got the yellow on it. That's 24 volts. That's between 5 volts and ground. So that's 24 volts and ground. Oh. Disconnect. So maybe I've got a power cable issue. Maybe my fancy power cable. All fucked up. So that's disconnected. Okay, power cable's disconnected. And that's 24 volts and ground. I connect the power cable. Power cable's connected. And it's all hunky-dory. Okay, just getting all tangled up. All right, so that's the issue there. Okay, there's a short. There's a short between ground and 24 volts. Okay. That's the problem. Mitta. Okay, well, sorry about that. Okay, so my slow, dim-witted brain finally realised that, yeah, so there's a short between 24 volts and ground. Okay. I'll need the schematic, I guess. I should be able to unscrew all that because I've disconnected it there. And I've disconnected these cables there, so it's not, fault's not on there. So hopefully that means the fault isn't in one of the drives. Fault must be on here. So the board is off. Just put this away. Okay, so yeah, there are chips on here that have issues, as you can see. Let me where's my poker? Get out my metal poker, everyone loves. So you can see, for example, here there's a lot of, so these chips could very well have failed. So I do have some replacements. And I did notice also that this YE data chip over here has got a lot of corrosion on it as well. Yeah, so anyway, the most immediate issue is that can't really tell from this side, but so this is the 24 volts, that's ground. These I don't think are supposed to be connected, although it's hard to tell. There is certainly continuity there, but looking at the schematic, the other issue is also that there's two versions of this board. This is the original board, and then they did an LSI version, so obviously reduced the chip count. So looking at the schematic, I've got this documentation here, the QumeTrak 242. It's basically the same drive as the YE data one. But looking at the schematic, there's the head load. So that was the issue I had, the head load solenoid. That's what it was actually called. The head load solenoid. We've got the index sensor assembly. So now I know what every part is called. Anyway, so it's probably a bit too small, but obviously the most immediate thing is that there is a capacitor between 24 volts and ground, C38, and it is polarized capacitor. So depends whether, so there's a C37. So it depends whether that schematic matches what I've got. There's a C32. Maybe it doesn't. C33, 35, 36, 34, 35. Oh no, that's resistors, sorry. C35, C36, C34, C28, C37. Unless it's this big thing. No, that's a TB1 maybe. I thought this was maybe a transistor, but it's maybe something else. T100K. Maybe that's TB1. Resistor network. C32, C33. Oh, here we go. Down in here. C39. 39 I can replace, got plenty of those. There's C38 there. Okay. Which seems to... Yep, so I guess I could try that out. What's the best way of testing a capacitor? Let me just check this. C37. Yep, okay. There's certainly, if I check C38 here, so let's try maybe removing that C38. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm not sure what type it is. I've not seen this type before. It's polarized. I don't even know what the 1/50. Where was the other one? There's one here. Oh, okay. So maybe it's 4.716. Okay, right. So maybe 1 microfarad, 50 volts. Maybe that's a 4.7 microfarad, 16 volts. I don't see any other. That seems to be the only two types on there. Only two of that type on here. And so I can certainly replace that one. That's no problem. And that's a resistor. All right. Well, I'll pull this out anyway, and see if that removes the. Should maybe reflow the solder up there. Like I say, I think this is just this short is just the beginning. We'll see how we go with this one, but yeah, let me try and take this. Okie dokie. I'll remove the capacitor, and there's no longer a short. So I assume that if this was a maybe 1 microfarad, yeah. I had some issues getting it out. 1 microfarad, 50 volts. I should have a replacement for that. Yeah, what a mess. It just did not want to come out. Alright, there's my very dodgy replacement. 1 microfarad, I assume 1 microfarad, 50 volts. Let's put the board back on and see if it powers up. Okay, power's connected again. Oh, we had movement. Power supply's working. Okay, we've cleared that fault. Let's see what happens when we stick a disc in. Nothing. Well, probably as expected. Like it says, there's no controller connected, so there's no controller connected for a start. And who knows? So yeah, and who knows? All right, so let's manually move the head sled up. No, it didn't return. I don't want to do it while it's powered on. Oh, that's one slight movement. I guess it was just the servo getting magnetically into position. Yeah, all right. Okay, disconnect the power. So yeah, so the next bit will be, I guess, connecting up a controller and then doing all the troubleshooting. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to knock that. Anyway, time for bed, I think. So let's see.